Welcome to our show. I'm not a professional podcaster, but I play one on the internet. All over the globe, people come up to me and ask, what makes Qualified Nonsense such a runaway success? Is it an engaging format? Is it dynamic chemistry between the three hosts? Is it dedication to releasing new episodes on a weekly basis? Is it the careful blending of wit and thoughtfulness brought on by literal decades of friendship? Is your clever and perfectly timed soundboard effects? Is it the fact that answering strangers' questions from Reddit never gets stale and never will? Is it the frequent glances into the blackened abyss that make up Jake's intrusive thoughts? Is it the predictability of Brandon talking about how his childless ass has the luxury to go see boring old movies or play bar trivia all the time? Is it Matt's overconfidence that he can flawlessly get through an episode while ripping on his John F. Kennedy? Is it the fact that the hosts are Riz personified and ooze sexual confidence? Of course, the answer to all of those is yes. To all of it, especially the last one. For more tips on how to create a successful podcast, keep listening. My name's Brandon.
My name's Jake.
And I'm Matt.
And this is Qualified Nonsense.
Man, that was just a wildly accurate opener. Spot on. All over the globe.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. People come up to me all the time. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, they're always asking.
Are you the Rizzler?
Are you the Rizzler? Real talk. Ooh. Real talk for a second, guys. Who listens to this podcast? Do you guys know who listens to this?
I know, at least who used to listen to it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have dropped off.
I don't have a ton of people in my social vicinity that listen to it. I know a couple of them, like here and there, but
my parents still listen, and
yeah, I know mine does.
I know if my parents either one listen. Or both of my sisters listen, but
I think I don't think my parents listen anymore. I know my brother doesn't listen. I do. So a friend of mine I know listens regularly, and he was talking about our old episodes and how we used to be. He's been listening, like starting from here, and then when he gets caught up, he goes back, and because he started pretty late, and he likes both versions, but they are very different. And I haven't looked at any of our old stuff, but he was saying that it was pretty entertaining. The other thing that I mentioned, or that I haven't mentioned to you guys, is that when I had that opening of sort of that Dungeons and Dragons-esque sort of like battle scene or whatever, this guy he listens to live play games, and he's like, "Oh, this guy sounds like Jake. This podcast, that opening scene sounds like Jake." And he goes, "Oh, this is Qualified Nonsense." He's like, "Oh." I was like, "Yes." But yeah, I mean, other than him, I don't know that I know anybody who listens to this.
I would appreciate looking at the downloads that we get. I would like to go through and if you listen to us in a country outside of the United States, please write into us, because we're very curious as to how we ended up on your FYP.
Yeah,
we're not complaining about it, but when you see us in Albania and Tajikistan, I'm curious.
And does any of the bullshit that we talk about apply universally or in your country, or is it just sort of, are we very sort of obtusely United States?
Are we painfully American?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose because we're answering questions from Reddit, the questions could be written by people outside the U.S., so we're kind of applying a U.S.-centric point of view with answering them.
You know what we should do? We should do it around the. We should start an around the globe series.
Around the world.
Start in a country, find something in Austria that they want to talk about, and we can give our professional advice on how they can be better in their own country.
So the tricky thing is,
if you can think of, or if you know in your country that there will be an audience of people, we will go perform live and do the show in your country.
It's just like somebody's house for dinner.
Come in. Yeah, I think there is a danger of that being at someone's house. But I think one of the reasons why I expect that our questions are American for the most part, and maybe some English, is because we're looking on English Reddit, and I imagine, for instance, in Austria, their questions are going to be mostly in German. So I don't know how much that plays into it. I know.
Thank God for Google, because we could translate it and engage with them in their own native tongue.
Ja, sehr gut.
Ach ja und nicht.
Hey, Brandon, you sprachen the dick.
Well, there goes our Austrian and our German listeners.
Anyway.
How was everyone's week?
Week's good. Yeah. Nothing crazy to report. I told you guys that I'm coaching my son's soccer team, and I
claimed that you weren't. No, I'm not going to coach, and now it's like,
right.
And we
and
totally
now I'm
called that one.
And apparently, I don't have a good temperament for it, because I was definitely yelling at some 9-year-olds on Sunday.
He's already got some HR claims.
Yeah. No, I know how to. That was the one training they gave us. They're like, hey, just don't fiddle kids. And we're like, okay, got it.
Can I still verbally abuse them? Kind of.
Yeah. Well, I did learn about that too, and so I know what line not to cross. But aside from that,
you're
that's
really like towing that line.
Yeah, I like exactly. I like to keep it.
He's about ready to go
keep him
falling
guessing.
down on these kids.
Yeah.
So one of the last episodes we were talking about, I think Jake asked about our work from home routines and how professional we are. So today I started watching a show on Netflix while I was working, called 0 Day. It's really good.
Oh yeah.
So good. I watched 4 of them. And it has Jesse Plemons in it, and Robert De Niro plays the president, like the former president, and it's all about cyber attacks on the US, and then there's who's in this together, who's in cahoots.
Mm-hmm,
but it was one of those government shows, like a less exciting 24, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like people
really good
all the time suggest TV shows with huge big name movie star or A-list actors that I've never heard of before, the show or seen anything, or I feel like streamers have such poor advertising for their stuff.
They are
catch Robert De Niro in this. I mean, I guess where would you see it?
Well, that's the thing. If you're not on that network, if it's all internal, if you, for instance, Netflix, if you watch Netflix, you'll get served Netflix ads in Netflix about Netflix. So it's and the For You page, that sort of stuff, where you can't scroll without seeing it if they want to advertise. But it's not like they're out.
Yeah, I feel like I only get movie advertisements on YouTube anymore. I don't get movie advertisements anywhere. I get some streaming stuff, I guess, from
Instagram or some social media things. But
also, Brandon, you go to the movies more than I think me and Jake have gone in the last 9 years combined.
I think that's accurate.
So I guess that's a good spot for you to see your next up at movies. I feel like I saw, what was it? I saw that something was coming out, and it seemed like something my wife would be into, and she was like, oh yeah, it was a trailer before the movie that I just saw, because she still likes going to the movies, and went to go see Sinners, which she really enjoyed.
I heard that was good.
But yeah.
Speaking of Netflix, Ann and I watched a show this last week, so that's an update. The Residents. It's got Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black. She plays a detective, and she just does an absolute delightful job, and I highly recommend it. It's a single series, or like a single, season. And it's like a whodunit sort of Agatha Christie-esque.
Nice.
And it's really good. Very enjoyable.
Brandon, who'd you annihilate at trivia this week? Who'd you humiliate and send them home with nothing in their hands?
I didn't do any trivia this week.
Do you think they're relieved when they see that you're not there?
I can answer that. Yes.
Do you ever think you're like, oh God, thanks. Maybe we actually have a fighting chance.
Well, they do it on the first and third Saturdays of the month, but I think was this last Saturday the 3rd? I don't know. They haven't done it for a few weeks, or a couple weeks.
The 3rd's coming up. That's this Saturday. Oop, I gave away when we're recording.
Yeah, that'll be the first Saturday of May. So yeah, there'll be one Saturday. So we'll see.
It's gonna be May.
Oh boy.
I did see last night. The Art House Theater by me. They're doing the John Carpenter series, and I went last night to go see Christine, which I had never seen before, which was the killer car movie. It's like a Stephen King book. Directed by John Carpenter.
The car is a killer?
Yeah, the car is comes to life, and it's and possesses this teen boy who buys
Carpenter. That's a stretch.
It was not bad. It had kind of cool effects of the car reassembling after wrecking itself, but I don't know. It was all right.
Michael Bay did this one too. It's called Transformers.
Oh, yes. Do robots kill people in those movies?
Yes. You just don't see them. There's people that they destroy skyscrapers. There's I
guess
18 buildings worth of 9/11 in those movies. People die.
What is that? It's going to be like 9/11 times 1,000 from Team America. My God.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
perhaps we're too interesting for this segment of the podcast, so maybe we should move on to the next segment.
Perhaps we should look into other people's lives and see if they have any interesting problems that we can help.
See if they're any more interesting than we are.
All right, we'll be right back. And welcome back. Feel free to drop us a line at qualifiednonsense@gmail.com or connect with us on our socials. Now is the time on the show where we take on Reddit's most pressing questions and answering them Brandon, here.
You're every time you do the we're back, I edit the fade in fade out of music, and so I time it out and stuff, and every time it blows up my eardrums, and I always forget to bring down your specific section. It makes me laugh every time.
Look at it and just see where the break is, just right before the break.
That's true.
Yeah. I could do it more softly. I could do more like a NPR. And welcome back. Thank you for joining us.
That'd be a good surprise. Yeah.
We realize we just told you that the world is ending and the economy is collapsing, but welcome back. Dum, 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 dum.
The way they talk on those shows just irritates the hell out of me. Do you guys? It's 100%. Not even necessarily just NPR, but do you ever listen to? Do you ever listen to The Daily? It's like a New York Times podcast.
Oh yeah,
it's a daily, and the host Michael Barbaro, the way he talks, he's like, "Today is April 29th," and he's straining to get the words out, and it's just talk.
NPR's to me almost feels condescending, or they're talking it feels like they're always talking to second graders, oh yeah, you don't understand, here we'll help you understand, we'll explain it to you gently and softly. Don't fucking patronize me.
I listen to a real riveting podcast periodically called the Composter Podcast, because I was getting into composting, and
there's a podcast for that.
Oh yeah, there's several
Jesus
podcasts
Christ.
for it.
How do you there's not enough things that happen but like week to week that you would even notice for composting.
Well, actually, Matthew, it's really interesting because they talk about commercial composting and backyard composting and the differences and how to get started, but it's mostly about commercial
move
stuff.
along. Yeah.
Anyway, Brandon, you should check that out because the host, her voice is unique. It's like she's a really nice voice, but it sounds like she's talking like this, and so it's like, "Hi, everybody, we're here to talk about podcasts. I mean, about composting again." And it's like, why are you inside my ear?
Is she like
maybe that's why she's so
turning you
successful?
on?
It's like a ASMR type thing. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what the content is.
Oh, well,
And so then I put the coffee grounds in with the eggshells.
Oh,
and
God.
rolled it around. It's like when on South Park when Randy was calling the cooking line. Yeah, yeah. What are you gonna bake? You could probably a quarter cup.
I'm sorry, I derailed us. Brandon,
No, that's fine.
as you were.
Our next question comes to us from Ask Reddit. Username Shen. They ask, what's trending right now that you think will die in 3 to 5 years?
I'm gonna start by saying I hope all the like musicians that got famous off of one song from TikTok and like you used their song in one of your sounds and that's what made them famous, not because you like the song. I hope all of those like musical artists, I hope they go away.
Like people who like sample music, or
the people sampling music, or the artists themselves?
The artists, because they're not doing it because they like the songs, and like more times out of 10, when you go back and you look at that other person's stuff, it's not very good. It's I don't know.
Yeah,
it feels like
so. Yeah, you're right. It is like
you're encouraging art just like based off of one song.
The era of one hit wonder has turned into 1 10-second like
soundbite. Yeah, it's even worse.
Yeah,
but I mean that's been going on for forever. Like, you know, like there's like, you know, Warren G uses Michael McDonald. And
I'm talking like different than that. This is like on if you look at the social media aspect of like just TikTok, for example, there's multiple artists who have gone platinum because they had one song, and it's not even the whole song that they're using. It's a little soundbite, and it's the user that has made that blow up, not necessarily based off the merit of that musician. It's like, ugh, this person isn't very good. I wish they wouldn't have shared that, you know, in their stupid little dance that they're doing.
So I'm interested in the platinum part of that. What you just said, is that because of records sold, or is that because of play, like number of times played? I was using
I don't know that they got a record deal and platinum. I'm just saying they skyrocketed in popularity to be like, oh god, it's that one guy from that one clip and here's the song. It's like nobody's going to go to a full concert because they don't, first of all, know your catalog, and if they did do the research, it was like you probably have some more comeuppance to do to sell out the Rose Garden or Madison Square Garden.
I think this isn't a trend, so, and it probably won't go away. But like, because you brought it up, Matt, like awards in general,
like the Grammys,
any of them. Like, I just don't. And this is
like
me personally.
Olympics?
Like, I can't
industry
be
awards.
Industry awards, like
Grammys and all that.
Yeah, Grammys, Oscars, like Tonys, all of it, because it's just so self-flagellating, not flagellating, masturbating. They're touching themselves. It's just like,
well, wasn't the Oscars were originally started as like an anti-union thing, like where studios got together and they said, oh, if you want to be eligible for this prestigious acting award, then you won't, join this actors union, and you'll, and so a lot
Got to
of
pay your
actors bought
dues.
into
Got to
that.
pay to play.
Yeah, I know that it's a, I know that it's well respected, I guess, or not well respected. It's something that everybody strives for in an industry. Like that's the tippity top. And I just don't like it's just like a rich kids club anyway of who gets to be there. And I do think it's pay to play. And it doesn't really like mean anything. And like there's so much I see.
It is no, I
see
do
a
see
dwindling amount of
value in acknowledging somebody for their success, because it's for the one thing that they did at that one specific time, right? Those are what the awards were, unless it's a lifetime achievement or whatever.
Mhm.
However, I think what you could do is send them a different kind of award that you don't need to sit down for, but you can know that this person went like platinum, right? In the music industry, that's how they celebrate your success. You sell 1 million copies of this, you get gold. You sell 2 million, you get platinum, you get double platinum. I think that's a better way to celebrate people's success. So to have like, oh, we had this indie film that was critically acclaimed, or we had this blockbuster that grossed X amount of money. I think there's a better way to acknowledge their success than being like, this is some other people that voted on you to be the best.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think there's it should be based off of like hard metrics of merit.
Yeah, having specific benchmarks to go for and to give, celebration for, I guess that's fine. Like that's not really of interest to me, but I get the value in that because you can actually put like a tangible, measurable something on it. But like committees and voting and I just don't think that has much value, especially in industries that are so obviously corrupted. And that corrupt makes it sound so dramatic. Like I don't think it's, well, in some cases it is, but I think it's not really all that bad. It's just sort of like self-congratulating, and I'm not really interested.
I got a different one that I do think is kind of a fad, at least on the West Coast where we're at. There's so many stinking chicken places opening. Like there's Dave's Hot Chicken, there's Raising Cane's, there's all these like chicken spots. Like you don't need to be that spoiled for choice for a chicken strip. I feel like all those kind of popular fast food trends are popping up everywhere. I hope that they go away.
I'll also say anything related to Skibbity Toilet, having a 5 or a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old.
I don't know. What is that?
I thought that was already done.
It might be, but for
not in this
my
household.
kids, it's still pretty relevant in school. Brandon, it is an animation, like a really twisted, not really twisted. It's just like a very sort of surreal, strange animation that have characters, and there's like a toilet with a head coming out of it.
Is it like a YouTube thing, or
it must be a YouTube thing? And from my perspective, like my kids don't even know what they're saying, which I encourage them to ask questions and not just repeat what other people are saying. But there's just like a series of phrases and words that are like Skibbity Toilet, and I'm trying to think of some of the other ones.
Your boys are going to get so like bitter at you one day, or have something be like, well, you asked me to know what I was saying, you motherfucker.
Yeah. Nope, I think they're fast approaching that, so I'm already buckled up.
Brandon, what do you got for fads?
Is it like how we, our generation had like the Homestar Runner stuff or whatever? I don't know.
But that was good.
Well, I mean, that's just it. Like I recognize that there's a level of Anna and I talked about this. We're like, are we just being like old and curmudgeon-y, being like, oh, these kids and their newfangled words? But I just doesn't seem to make any sense. And I think specifically because I'm like, oh, guys, to the boys, I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, I don't know. Skibbity toilet. I'm like, okay. Well, if you don't know what it means, like,
nobody knows what it means, but it's sexual.
You're like the old man, like covering his ears when he hears the Beatles or whatever.
Oh man, I am that guy now.
I will say the other thing that came with Homestar Runner that's different is like we got so many different unique things out of it. Not just like saying skibidi toilet. We got trog. Here, I'm trying to defend this. I don't know why, but
no, do it. Go with it.
I think Homestar. I think we got albums out of it. We got a movie. We had TV shows. Yeah. We got more phrases. Character development. It meant something. What are some of the top answers?
Yeah, well, I had a thought that, and it's not really trending, but I think having like a million streaming services will kind of wind down, and eventually they'll start collapsing, and we'll pretty much just end up with like cable again.
They're already kind of aren't they kind of conglomerating together or monopolizing together? Like, isn't Hulu with Disney now? And
yeah, they're sharing. They're like striking agreements between them.
Yeah, like you can get like a package with Disney, Hulu, and Max and all that, and
yeah. One thing that I regret to be actively a part of is all of those streaming services and the advertising in the streaming services.
Yeah, that's what we were paying for, is to not have that.
Yeah, and now we're all paying to.
That's awful.
Have advertisements interrupt shows and movies, and
they've gotten back to like the advertisements are louder than the programming. Right? Do you remember when that law was passed for broadcasting that they had to equalize like the audio levels? There must be some kind of loophole that for streaming it's not technically broadcast.
Right.
It's like what is it? Amazon, the Prime Video, they have the worst commercials. Not only because they do the same one over and over again, so does Hulu. They do the same one over and over again, but it's like 8 times as loud as the program. You're like, yeah.
I am I hate watching commercials, so I am the person who pays extra to do the ad free.
Oh, must be nice, Brandon.
So I'm the extra cash sucker.
You're so liquid.
I speaking of it must be nice. I actually saw a good. I actually saw something today that was somebody who was trying to justify when they get thrown in their face like, oh, must be nice. They said, I actively say back, yeah, it is. Get your shit together. You could have it too. I was like, oh, nice. Do you think? Yeah.
At my old job, we used to say "must be nice" when people were like, "Oh, I'm, as a reminder, I'm off next week, or I'm taking Friday off, or whatever," and people would always be like, "Oh, must be nice," and it was supposed to be like, at first it was a joke, but then like my manager had to step in and be like, "I don't want anyone else say must be nice when people are taking their well-deserved time off," and we're like, "Okay, sorry."
This is a government job too. It'd be like, "Must be nice." Yeah, bitch, you got it too. You're Take your days.
I think that this isn't really. I mean, I guess it seems kind of popular in the last couple of years, but that I think will go away in the next, what do they say, 3 to 5 years, is anti-EV sentiment amongst kind of the general population. Because I feel like there is a lot of resistance to electric vehicles.
I feel like that's already happening. Well, now that the major motor companies have adopted some version of it, I think it's yes. I mean, I think we're already on that 3 to 5 year dip It's
I
more
think
like
the whole like drill
2 to
baby
4.
drill, like, well, you're not taking away my coal roller, that kind of like stuff. Like,
Right.
I think that's gonna kind of die out over the
There,
next few
there
years.
is. So a couple of years ago, specifically to EV, NHRA introduced EV brackets for them to do, but it was always an exhibition. Like they never got to compete for the money and stuff. And the old boomers that would actively boo and like scream at the individuals. Now, I'm not making this political. However, now a lot of those individuals I follow are like always sharing Elon Musk's updates and stuff. And it's like they did an about face seemingly overnight, as it were, about their attitude towards it. It's like, oh, now it's okay. But even the racing community is getting behind it. Lewis Hamilton is actually invested in, what is it called? It's EV SUVs that do like off-roading circuits. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I think there's more acceptance towards the EV in general.
Some of the top answers are, well, I really hope we as a society will get fed up with every single thing in our lives now requiring a subscription.
There you go.
I don't know if that's going away though.
It's super not going away. I get it.
I think ad-free streaming services, regardless of price point, will disappear. It's becoming normalized at this point, which sucks. Family vlog channels.
Yeah. I mean, I think
vlogging in general is taking a dip over the last couple of years.
Well, it seems like before, kind of vlogging or family vlogging, like you just had like a TLC show where you had like 19 kids or whatever, and you were just like a freak show.
Transformed from like like TLC to YouTube, and then it seems like people still do it quite heavily on the social profiles. Like they just pivoted.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dubai chocolate, probably even sooner.
Oh, speaking of, they have Dubai chocolate popsicles at Costco, so you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money.
We did splurge on this, like, it was basically ended up being like $20 with tip. This like cup with strawberries and chocolate and like like Dubai chocolate thing.
In Seattle?
No, it was here in Eugene. But
because I saw that when you guys went up to that market up in Seattle, and they were like, it was all the rage. They just had the strawberries in the cup, and they would run the chocolate under it.
Yeah, we got one, and it was. I will say it wasn't worth the money, but for something to have once in a while, or one time, it was fine.
Unsurprisingly, I missed the train on Dubai chocolate. I had to look it up.
Oh, it's like the chocolate bar with pistachio filling in the middle of it, and it's like super thick, and it
looks good.
Some girl made it popular.
The overpriced cookie shops, e.g. Crumble, Insomnia cookies, etc. Seems like the trend that will end up like all those Froyo frozen yogurt places.
Oh, see, I like the Froyos though.
I do think that's.
Have you guys had a Crumble? Have you guys been to any of those?
Yeah. I saw they have a pie shop now. Like the Crumble company has launched like a pie, like individual pies, which is kind of interesting.
We did it once, and while they were good, they're super expensive, but dense.
It's just so much.
I can't imagine eating a pie. That sounds awful.
I thought the same thing. I was like, what's the point of this? In New York, when I was still living there, is when the Crumble opened, and there was like lines out the door, and I was like, what is going on? They're like, it's Crumble. I'm like, what's that? They're like, it's a cookie place. I'm like, there's a line out the door for a cookie place? Yeah, I guess they're good, but like I don't get it.
They also make cereal that they sell at Costco, and I thought about getting it once, and I was like, well, first of all, it's a Costco size.
Yeah, you have to eat it
So
all.
if you don't like it, you kind of committed. But also at the same time, remembering how heavy their stuff was, I was like, I can't send my kids to school with this.
Did you see that recent SNL sketch where it was like all about like visiting in New York and like what New York has basically become is just standing in a long line for something that was like trending on TikTok. And then like you get to the front of the line and somebody's like, is it worth it? And you're like, it was all right.
Yeah.
I should find it and send it to you guys. It's kind of funny.
That's about right.
But like along those lines, I do think a lot of like snack foods in general, I think with so many people, myself included, taking all these weight loss drugs, like those kinds of like impulse places that kind of rely on impulse buying with snacks, I think will die out. But like especially like a lot of the kind of weird flavor combinations you see in the grocery store of snack foods, like we've talked about like the Coke Oreos or like the Cheez-It Taco Bell menu that they had a little while ago, all that kind of stuff. I think that'll go away just because there'll be less of a demand for it.
Yeah, I do kind of like them from time to time, being like, ooh, that's kind of fun and exciting. I'll try it once. Try anything once.
I'll try anything twice.
Lip fillers is another answer.
Ooh, yeah.
What? What are those?
Lip fillers.
Oh, lip fillers. Oh, yeah.
Same with butt. No more butt fillers.
Everybody like, the lip fillers, like you can always tell when people have had them.
Also, how do you do it once? Like if somebody did it to me on this side, I'd be like, ow, 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 ow. I'm good. And then I would just be like this until it goes away. Like, how do you do that multiple?
Punched in the mouth or something?
Like, how do you do like it? It seems like it would be so painful to get a needle in your lip voluntarily.
You're not a needle guy though. Like you don't do good.
I don't think
needles,
you have to be a needle fan. I don't think anybody really is a needle fan, except for heroin addicts. But like, I mean, I don't think anybody really likes needles. But to voluntarily be like, this seems like a good idea. Let's do that. But,
yeah.
Oh God, it just seems like it would hurt. So sensitive.
Yeah, I agree.
Broccoli haircuts.
I think I've seen
the
those.
teens, the youths of today.
Yeah.
They all look like the kid from Veggie Tales.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, there's a bunch more on here. So let us know what you think. What trend will die out?
Do you think the weight loss trend could go away at all? Do you think people would be like, I don't know, this isn't really worth it?
I really losing weight will not be popular?
No, I'm just saying, being on a voluntary medication that is so effective. Do you think people will be like, no, I do miss that part of my life, like eating as much as I wanted to? This is America. Like, do you think that there's any point
I guess
where
we'll see how the incoming recession goes, because people might have to give it up. But
yeah.
Winco's just sitting there like, we're ready for you.
Yeah, 3 to 5 years. So I would love. I'm really interested to see what happens to the political climate after Donald Trump. Obviously, I want MAGA to go away, but I don't know that it will. To the degree,
I think it'll morph into something worse.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a real possibility.
I'd like to see it,
but I don't know who their
more
front man would be.
bipartisan, because we haven't had that for quite some time.
Yeah,
and be like, all right, guys, that was pretty bad. Maybe we could work together a little bit better.
Yeah,
I mean, I think you got to meet us in the middle, right?
There's a potential there, but
I'd like to be optimistic about it, but the realism.
But it's hard to work with somebody who's just saying like heinous shit all the time.
No. We're saying like post. I'm saying
post.
After the
post.
fact.
So
like after
the 3 to 5 year, the trend of MAGA, the trend of Donald Trump.
Yeah, could we be left with a better result? or a learning experience,
and
or
get
do we
beaten
just
down.
lean
in 3 to
into
5
it?
years, are we going to be saying thank you, Donald, for bringing us together single-handedly? Man, what a guy. 47.
Yeah,
You feel me?
we're gonna be wishing for Donald Trump in 3 to 5 years.
You think so?
I don't know.
Have you guys?
I'm taking that soundbite, by the way.
Yoink.
That's why I didn't say anything immediately, because I didn't want to ruin it. See? You just jealous. He still got it.
He still got it.
All right. Next question. This one is this one's from the subreddit No Stupid Questions. The user
I love this one.
Charles Vivas X. I think I might have mentioned this one last time, but I decided to throw it in there. So, why ass hair so strong but head go bald?
Wait,
And then
I'm sorry, I
parentheses,
laughed in the middle. Can you say it again?
why ass hair so strong but head go bald? And then parentheses, sorry for bad English.
I think this was meant to be on the subreddit Stoner Thoughts.
That's really good.
I mean, you know, what's his name?
Charles Vivas X.
Well, let me tell you, Charles. I think... I don't know why. But what I do know is if they could do when you go to Turkey and get the transplant, that's what it is. That's why it's so strong and it stays, because they're taking ass hair and putting it up on top.
No.
Is that what it is?
There's no way. There's no way. Really?
You think I'm serious? I don't know.
Oh,
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I bought it. I was like, that
Also,
sounds
can you
horrible.
imagine, like, if you went over there, Jake, looking at your head right now, and you have this, right? And then this is full of ass hair. You can imagine how different that would look.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, there's no way. My I don't know about y'all's ass hair, but mine's rough and coarse and it gets everywhere. You feel me?
I wouldn't know. I can't see it.
All right, hold on.
This person does give an actual answer.
Oh,
what's their choose? What
the top answer? The person coming to the rescue giving the real answers. Their username is Muscular Schlong. They are.
That's awesome, my man.
They say because DHT, dihydrotestosterone, causes stronger hair growth on the body everywhere except the head, where if you have the genes for it, will instead cause hair loss. It comes down to hair follicles on the head being more sensitive to DHT than hair follicles on the body.
Now, see, that's something that could be real or could be complete bullshit, but I can't verify that right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't like all
Dr.
the like
Schlong said so.
all the I mean, you see like all the like wrestlers and MMA guys, like they all go bald, and they're doing like hormone therapy stuff. So
Right, but
yeah, but they're doing it to a degree that your average person who's 40 and just wanting a little pick me up versus I'm gonna inject all this shit to look a certain way.
I also think there are different flavors of it's not just testosterone, it's like different cocktails for different stuffs.
We should take some to find out. Maybe we could grow hair. Maybe we could make a cocktail that grows.
We should do our own little experiment. We'll do different ones.
Well, patron and friend of the show, Ryan, I know he was doing the Rogaine stuff, and
that's right. Wait, I don't know. I get the I feel like I remember him saying that he stopped doing it, but he was so gung ho for a while.
Well, there's somebody here mentions that those things like minoxidil is more about preservation than fixing. So
it is. As somebody that I do see a dermatologist, and complete transparency, I struggle with picking at my hair. So the dermatologist, I said that I use that, and he's like, yeah, it's not going to grow. It's not really false claims. It's just very misleading as to what it does. It's like it helps grow the hair that's already grown. It's not going to be like seeping into your empty follicle and being like, we're going to play God with your follicle and grow something from nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, well, when you put it that way, I guess. Okay.
But Matt's ass
So
hair
you're
is so
saying that
strong,
no?
head go bald. So maybe you should pick your ass hair.
I want. Do you guys have? Speaking of hair, do you guys have those little like really fine hairs grow out from weird places on your body? Ever? Have you ever found any of those? Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like you get one on. I used to have one pop up on my shoulder.
Yeah.
It was like this little angelic strand. It was so long. I was like,
yeah.
I've
got one that comes out of my eyebrow that
dang,
it gets tangled up in my eyebrow, and like sometimes it just shakes loose and it like hangs down here like in my eye. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I like
you
pull
look
it
like
out
an
of
old
my
wizard or something.
Yeah. I've got another one that grows out of the middle of my ear, like way back. So like sometimes I like tickles my ear. I'm like, what the fuck? And
I do have to trim my eyebrows. I do get like weird, like long, like curly.
Oh, I get those.
Look
We're
like
old guys. Yeah.
And
look like a villain.
My ear hair in my right ear is dark, but then on my left side it's lighter colored. So I have to be more like, I have to trim that more often.
These are the good days.
Yep. It's a landslide downhill from here.
I don't know. Do you ever see those old guys with like the crazy, like gigantic,
yes.
like it's like they have
owls.
like a house cat on their forehead?
Yeah. Oh, but I was gonna bring back the long hair, the long hair conversation to ass hair. I once had a coarse hair that was like this long, that was growing next to my asshole, that I was so shocked to find. It wasn't a tail, but
how did you find it? Wait, did you sit?
I was
down and then you got a little.
No, I was about to take a shower
on your thigh.
I was about to take a shower, and I like itched the back of my thigh, and I felt a tug from my asshole, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm not kidding. It was shocking. It was shocking.
You go skinny dipping. You could go fishing. Like,
tie some bait. Start doing laps.
Trolling. Yeah. Oh man.
I do envy the guys that can grow like really nice, super thick facial hair, like just a good mustache.
Yeah, good mustaches. I'm envious of a strong mustache.
Yeah,
the space between my nose and my lip are just it's a little too thin. So when I just have a mustache, it always looks like I'm here to fiddle kids, which is not a great look.
When I grew mine out not too long ago, it was like, I don't know, it made me feel like I was that 15-year-old who was too embarrassed to ask his dad like how to shave.
Mm-hmm.
So I just let it keep going.
Yeah, the in-between phase of a mustache is always bad. Like you just gotta just grin and bear it.
You look like a sleazeball no matter what.
When you take, so Matt, we didn't talk about this, but when you took your mustache off, did you take it off a little bit at a time?
No. Well, I've always done this just to see what it would look like and see if I could keep it. Because I'm patchy on either side of my nostril, but I could do a pencil thin. And there's a very unique type of person that can pull that off, and I happen to not be that kind of person.
Ah, shit.
No, you're a pervert.
No, man. Matt, live your dream, man.
Just sitting in the grandstands watching my kid do track, eating candy.
This person's answer, they say the English is perfect for this question.
Yeah. No, it hits the spot. We all have had that same thought in that exact same tone.
I just find it unique how like they're discovered, right? Like Jake, scratching your thigh. Mine was I was scratching my shoulder, and I felt like I was like, what is that? And I was like, whoa. I was like, I got wings.
What do you guys? So, Brandon, you were saying that you get some out of your eyebrows. Do you guys have also really, really coarse hairs that are growing in any abnormal places?
What do you mean by coarse hair? Like pubic hair?
No, abnormally coarse. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's so. I get them, that the wild ones that stick up, they're usually like twice as thick as the other ones, and then I've got one that's like coming out of, I don't know what you call this piece of cartilage on your ear, like the front little bump. I've got a coarse hair that grows out of here periodically that I have to pluck because it, like, if I scratch my ear, it goes and I'm like, oh god.
I have gotten some relatively long ones out of my nose,
like on my cheek, that I have to just shave.
Yeah.
But I guess since you're talking about ones that have been like coiled up, I had one in my nose that I like pulled down. It was like down to here.
No way.
Yeah, because I was going like that, and I was like, man, it was very sensitive too.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is that? And I like, ooh, weird.
Have you guys ever like grown your hair long? Like,
I did.
My head hair?
Yeah.
I had mine like, wasn't fully, but
what else am I doing?
Yeah, the hair on your head. I mean, it's
growing that out for Savi Island.
You ever grow out your pubes? It's as long, just as bushy as you can. The longest I've had my hair was probably for a play, but it was when we lived together. I think it was like down to here or something. But like it when my hair gets long, it gets sort of like, it fans out a little bit. It's like floofy.
It's wavy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember you used to have like the kind of like Justin Bieber hair.
That's offensive. I don't know why you'd say that. You know what, listeners, this is our last podcast. Thanks for tuning in. No, it was.
My hair has always been like kind of fine. So I always, like, if I grow my hair out long, I look like the crypt keeper or something.
Well, I remember I felt like when we were growing up, you used to go to the barber quite a lot. It felt like every 2 weeks or something.
Well, because my sister cut my hair for free.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, she was just practicing boys' hair because they spend less time covering that shit.
I had my hair grown out relatively long for me these days, but it was also bleached at the time. I did bleach my tips, and then they grew out.
Nice. I'm trying to think.
Now age has just done that. I'm all Polly Walnuts over here.
Nice. I was looking at a picture. I was cleaning up my garage, and I've got on my not cork board, but like the tool board.
Your mood board?
Not the mood board. On top of it, it's that picture that I think, Matt, your mom made for everybody. That's
gotcha.
Us at prom, when other friendships have been forgot.
Yeah.
I got another picture that your mom made for me.
Oh shit.
Well, once again, this is our last podcast.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh man. But I was trying to remember our hair, but I think it was for prom, so we were like all cleaned up and looking sharp.
Must have been nice to have dates.
I mean, okay.
No, right? That's what we say. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah. Get your act together.
Get your act together.
Matt, didn't you go to prom in Eastern Oregon or something?
I did. Yeah. I went to Pendleton with Miss Ashley Roush.
There you go.
Must be nice. Did you get a blanket out of it, Pendleton?
No. I just got a really awkward time where she wanted to hang out with her dad, who was chaperoning. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Well,
I was gonna ask about you getting lucky.
I'll end on that cliffhanger.
So, listener, maybe you can answer why ass hair so strong but head go bald.
It sounds like Yoda wrote the question.
How would Yoda ask that?
Ass strong. Head bald. Oh.
Well, I think that's been an episode.
You're so good.
On that note,
But thank you all for listening. Please support the show over at Patreon at patreon.com/qualified nonsense. Watch us over at YouTube at youtube.com/@qualified nonsense. Also, feel free to send any questions or comments to qualifiednonsense@gmail.com or hit us up on our socials found in the episode description. After you've done all that, please also rate, review, share, like, and subscribe on your podcast app of choice. And we'll see you back here next week for another brand new episode of Qualified Nonsense.
And a reminder, patrons have been getting a little sneak peek behind the scenes, extra spicy stuff from our pre-recording. So if you want to check some of that stuff out, check us out on Patreon, because we're starting to put out.
They get to see why our ass hair is strong.
Some good shiz.
You can see why head go bald, but they get to see why ass hair so strong.
Those lucky dogs.
Lose our 3 patrons. All right.
Click here to see more.